Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the When in Seoul podcast. Danny Cho here with Bobby Choi in the house. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bobby, what's going on, buddy?
A lot.
Yeah, you're
finally all moved in.
Yeah, you're no longer in Mangwon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are moved away. You moved away from me, man. I'm alone here by myself.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just time to move on. I've been here for like 5 years. Okay. Well, I've been in Hongdae for 5 years.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a little sick today, by the way, so I'm going to be sneezing and stuff.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah, but we moved our podcast studios to another location, right?
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
Yeah. I got to find a
permanent studio.
Yeah, since now I'm in a different area, I need somewhere closer to home.
Right.
So I need to find a new studio.
Yeah. So Bobby, you said that you just moved in. How is it living in a different area, different house?
I haven't seen much of the area itself.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to go out and discover and just sort of walk around and get lost in my area, but
so no tangols as of yet, right? Not even close.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will. We already had our first noise complaint.
Okay.
Which really stinks because we weren't that loud. I mean, granted, we were moving in.
Yeah. And
the building our neighbors knew we were moving in.
Right.
So how can you not make noise, right?
Right.
But even so, I don't think we were that loud. But around. I experienced something that I've never experienced before. Mm-hmm. And so in Korea, what they do is, at least in our building,
right.
We live in an older building,
right?
Like a high-rise complex, but I think it's older. But instead of getting a direct complaint from our neighbors, mm-hmm. the entire building gets an announcement. There's speakers in the apartment.
Oh, wow.
So it's it was shocking at first because it's just ding dong dang, and then it's
wow, really?
안녕하세요, 여러분, or it just says this whole thing. I caught most of it, but it was just kind of saying we just want to remind everyone we need to be respectful of our neighbors and not make noise and just kind of treat your living situation as your the way you want to treat your family.
Oh, very Jesus-y,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, but
yeah.
So you live in a school and the principal made an announcement pretty much. That's what happened, right? Wait, what time was it though that noise complaint happened?
7 o'clock.
What? Wow. And okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, and we were the building, when we moved in, they said, try not to make noise after 9.
Right.
Which first, that for me was all right, our old building was 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
This one was 9.
Okay.
And so we figured out, we met some of our neighbors, and they're all elderly people.
Okay.
So by 7 o'clock, they're in bed, I guess.
Did you,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it is custom to back home, you give a pie. In movies you see you pies or cookies to your neighbors. Yeah. Is there a pie or cookie equivalent to your neighbors in Korea?
I can only imagine it's something like a box of kyur.
Really?
Or I don't know. We didn't give anything to our neighbors, so I don't know. Do you give them fruit? Do you give them dried fish?
I don't know. I don't know if it's for living situations, mm-hmm. but I know if you are a business, mm-hmm. you usually give tteok to your neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but I don't know about actual living neighbors.
But I think we're only going to live there 2 years and bounce. So we'll save on the duck money. We already got ratted out on, so I don't feel so great about the situation. So I like to play music at home.
Right.
When I have a song idea, I grab my guitar before 11 o'clock. But now I feel like I can't even do that, and I want to I'm gonna like try to play as much music as possible, especially with the baby coming. I want to play music to my wife's belly, so that I don't know. Maybe our baby will come out like a little bit more musically inclined than I did. So, but I don't know. We haven't made such a good splash with the neighbors, so perhaps a gift might be nice.
Some duck.
Yeah, some duck.
Yeah. I mean, old people like duck. I mean, even if they don't got teeth, you know what I mean?
I wonder if we should let them know that I'm a 외국인, like a foreigner. And that way they'll give us a little bit more of a
leeway?
Yeah, leeway, or they'll just judge us and be like, oh, those damn foreigners. Like, and I just like, push the envelope, push the level.
And then the principal comes on again. Doom, doom,
it happened twice, though. Like, we were like, oh man, yeah. So, I mean, we're making holes in the walls to hang stuff.
Yeah.
And so I get it. Like we can't make like, but we just moved in, so
yeah, it was 7
anyway.
Yeah. So I also know that it is tradition. I know we talk about food a lot in this podcast, but I know it is tradition that after you move, your first meal should be jjajangmyeon.
Yeah, I didn't know that because I've moved. This is my 4th time moving in Seoul. And nobody's ever brought that up, the jjajangmyeon thing. But I've always moved alone.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't have like Korean friends helping me. Aww.
Aww. You know what? I don't know if it makes you feel any better, but when I moved to my place, I did not eat jjajangmyeon. I ate a Mom's Touch chicken sandwich.
Oh, well, I had jjajangmyeon. We had jjajangmyeon on Saturday when we moved in. And it was nice. You know? Yeah, we got... I'm not a big fan of jjajangmyeon, but I ordered the japjebap.
Okay.
And I liked it. I mean, I never had that before either.
But did other people look at you weird when I'm assuming everybody else ordered jjajangmyeon?
Well, I figured, my wife ordered jjajangmyeon, so I didn't want to get the same thing. I figured we could like share, get a little bit of variety.
Okay.
But we did do your trick.
What?
The jampong sauce
the
kumur.
Yeah.
We put that.
A little bit?
Like 5 or 6 spoonfuls of that into the jjajangmyeon, and it was nice. A little bit spicy, a little bit. And also, this past, what was it, yesterday? A couple days ago? You actually came to Kondae.
Yes,
I did. And we actually checked out Kondae on a Monday night.
Yeah.
And it was poppin'.
As a matter of fact, I mean, I was
so shocked.
Because I live in Shincheon, right? And so... Like
another college town.
Yeah, I thought Shincheon would be more poppin', right?
Than Kondae?
Yeah, but Shincheon it feels like it's kind of dead. It's not that packed.
Yeah, I mean Hongdae on a Monday night is not as lively as it was this past Monday. I don't know, maybe it has to do with the weather too. It's not. Oh, actually Monday was kind of cold.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Well, I'm going to hang out a little bit more, check out the area, walk around. I so far, so good. In terms of like, I went to a samgyeopsal place, and I went to I know there's a 감자탕 place right around the corner that's really good because I went there months ago.
Right.
And then, we'll see.
And then Kondae, like when we were walking, one of our friends was like, "Hey, there's this place that's like Instagrammable," and I almost wanted to punch him because we're in our late 30s, early 40s, right? We're not Instagrammable people. You know what I mean? Like we don't care about that. Right?
We went to this place called Common Ground.
Yeah.
Right, and it's basically built of all these shipping containers.
Yeah.
That you find on boats.
Right.
And I don't know, that's not a new thing. Like they used to have a place called Platoon in Gangnam.
Yeah, we did shows there.
We did a show there. Yeah. They have a and then they're all over the place, but this place is just like the Optimus Prime of shipping. I don't know. It's like Constructicon. Yeah. So we went. No one was there. It was all closed, and we were just like a bunch of old guys.
And no one pulled out their phone to take a picture of this Instagrammable hot place. You know what I mean? So I was like, where are we here? Let's go.
No, but he did say, I haven't been here in 3 years. It's like, why are you bringing us somewhere that You're not sure it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, but no, I like, your move was probably the most recent thing that kind of the biggest thing in your life as of now, right?
Yeah.
In the past few weeks. I had an interesting situation. My ex-girlfriend from way back in the day comes into town, and she hits me up after, I would say, 5 to 6 years of not talking to each other.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hey, I'm in Seoul. If you want to hang out, I wanted to see you, right?"
Okay.
And at the time, I was with you and some other people in Itaewon. Remember?
I don't know the whole story because I wasn't really listening to you.
Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, we were me, you, and a handful of other people were out in Itaewon grabbing a drink.
Yeah.
And then I get a message from my ex, and I was like, I feel like she needs me because usually there's no reason why she would call me just to say hello. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
if we haven't talked in 6 years,
yeah,
you know what I mean, then there is no reason.
Maybe she doesn't know anyone in Korea.
Well, that too.
I've had people come out of the woodwork that I haven't seen for years, even like college friends. Just because I live in Korea, I get a call.
Right.
Which I don't mind. I think it's a great way to reconnect with people. But when people visited LA, they never called me because they have plenty of friends there.
That's true.
But
they didn't know where they were going, right?
Yeah.
There were she was with a few friends, and they were, they were bar hopping on a Monday, I believe, which is not a good day to bar hop anywhere in Korea. And so she hits me up. Well, we meet up, and a little backstory is when I was younger, there was a moment in my life where this was the woman I thought I was going to marry.
Okay.
Right? But it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Well, there's a long story, but it didn't work out, and we never talked. Right?
Wait, this was in your college years? When was this?
Right after college.
Right after, okay.
Yeah. And so she, dated someone else, got married to him, has a kid. They're married. You know what I mean? Like they're
So you were her good luck Chuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
oddly, every girl that I've dated, the next boyfriend they marry.
I believe it.
It's almost as if
you hit rock bottom. There's only one way to go.
Like every girlfriend I've dated, the next guy they marry, right? Which I don't know. That don't make me feel good. But anyway,
well, if you're listening out there and you, I don't know, want to get married.
If you want to get married, date me first for a little bit, and then it'll give you some perspective. But you know what? It was interesting because hanging out with her for a few hours made me realize, thank God I didn't get married to her.
Oh, that's mean.
No, not that she's like an awful person or whatever, but just personality wise, like.
Oh, you guys don't.
No, I was like, oh man, I remember this personality. I remember this type of she was tired, she was a little drunk, she was a little cranky, you know what I mean? And so I had to the reason why she hit me up was so that I could entertain her two other friends.
Oh, so she knew you were a sure thing in terms of making sure her friends have a good time.
Yes.
Out in the town.
Yeah. So her friends, and I know her friends, so we were hanging out, blah blah blah. But my ex, she had this I want to go home face the whole time. You know what I mean? And so finally I pull her aside and I go, hey, just go home. I'll take care of your other friends. Right? And she says, no, we have to go together. I was like, they don't look like they want to go together. They're here on vacation too. Just go home. You have work. I'll take care of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it wasn't a closure thing. She didn't hit you up for closure.
No. Okay. Absolutely not. She like I said, she hit me up to use me. I've known her. This is a girl that I thought I was gonna. This is a girl that I knew I was gonna marry, so I know a little bit about her, right?
Okay. So she went home.
Yeah. So she went home, and then I was hanging out with her friends, just to show them a good time. And a few hours later, she calls me going, hey, where are you? How come they're not here? I can't go to sleep because apparently they're staying in the same room. And I'm like, don't worry about it. They're in their mid-30s. They're adults. Nothing happens in Korea like that. They'll get them safe. Now she's kind of getting angry with me.
All right.
That I'm not sending them home.
Okay. She's being protective.
Yeah. And a part of me is yo, you call me for help.
Yeah.
And now you giving me attitude.
Oh, yeah. That's
you know
not
what I mean?
right.
Yeah, so in my mind, I'm like, thank God I didn't marry this woman. You know what I mean? Like, it was just...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because when I was with her, I remember I was a lot younger, and I held it all in. Korean word for that is chamo. I chamoed this personality trait. And so I basically said, don't yell at me, don't get mad at me. You call me to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I will send them home soon, right? And so I sent them home, and then I messaged her, and I was like, hey, good seeing you. But, like, I don't think it's cool for you to just get mad at me when I'm doing what you asked me to do, right?
Right.
And so, good luck, and enjoy the rest of your stay here, right? Right? And then, so I was drunk that day, so I woke up to, like, many phone calls from her, and then finally I picked up. And she called to apologize. She was like, "Sorry."
Oh,
she's like, "Sorry,
good for her.
Sorry. I was being a bia." Right? And I was like, "Yeah, you were." Anyway, enjoy your stay. Good seeing you. Bye. Right? And that was it. But you know what? It gave me closure in knowing that it worked out for the best that we didn't get married.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean?
Maybe you should contact the rest of your exes to get more closure on that.
Yeah, I'll be like, there's a lot of them.
You ever see that movie High Fidelity?
Yes.
That's that reminds me of that.
I'm Cusack.
Yeah. There's that one relationship where he felt really bad for breaking up with this girl, or felt like really burned by her, and was always mad that she left him.
Right.
But she ended up marrying the next guy.
Right.
Or it was a girl that cheated on him with another guy, and he felt like crappy all his life about it. And then he hit her up and found out that they were still together.
Yeah.
And they were married, they have kids, and he was like, I'm so glad I did this, because they were meant to be together. It was destiny. Even though she cheated on me and made me feel like crap, they ended up together, and it was destiny, so that's okay.
Oh my God, that's kind of like exactly how my situation with this girl was.
What? You didn't tell me that. Oh, Danny.
Oh my God,
Danny, have you been cheated on?
Oh yeah,
before?
well, once.
No,
twice.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. That's why, even though a lot of my friends are like shocked when I say this, but I have never cheated on a significant other because I know how it feels. Right.
Well, now you know that also she married, right? She married that guy. You said the guy she was with after she married?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it worked out, it was very high fidelity. You're right. I'm John Cusack, Where is he now? What is John Cusack doing now? Let's get into a little bit of the news.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, I don't know how to segue this, but clearly my ex had to take a plane to get here. Right?
Oh, I have a good segue for this story.
Okay, go ahead.
So I had to get my passport photo today.
Okay.
Right? And
I'm looking at it right now.
My wife made an appointment for me which I thought it was weird. I thought you can just go somewhere and just get in a booth and take photos.
Right.
Like you can do in the States, you know? You just like take a file and you just give it to someone. They print it out, whatever.
Right.
But I went to this guy. I took this photo. He says, "Come sit next to him, next to the computer." And I was like, "What's going on?" Okay, so he begins to do this Photoshop of my face.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, and I pulled it out right here, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" Like little by little, I see that he's making basically that photo that all Koreans have on their resumes.
Right.
And I should have known that those photos are photoshopped because they're so perfect, perfectly aligned and stuff. Yeah. But I could tell he was having trouble with my face because my face is crooked. If you look at it, my nose is crooked. Right. So he put a line down the middle of my face, and he was like, "Oh, 이거 어떻게 하지?" And then he put a line on my eyes, and one eye is bigger than the other. One's smaller, and he's like, "Oh, 이거 완전 다른데? He was like, I can pull this down. He started to pull my other eye down to make it look bigger. I was like, 아니, 괜찮아요. Like, I don't want to commit fraud here. Like, because I have to go into my, it's not a passport photo. It's like for my visa.
Right.
Right. And so, and he's like, he fixed it up. He took off all my chums, all my moles in the photo, as you can tell. And I was like, leave that one. Come on, man. Like, I don't like the big one.
The big one.
He's like, oh, but we gotta take these out for sure. I was like, come on, I'm sitting right here. Like, you're like making fun of me without, or like you're making me feel bad here.
What if they go, who is this symmetrical face dude and who is this asymmetrical face in front of me?
He's like, you gotta get rid of this gray hair and stuff. I was like, no, leave the gray hair. I'm okay with the gray hair. And then meanwhile, I think it's over, right? Because he crops it, he gets everything, he pushes things a little bit over.
Right.
And then he's like, 이제 메이크업 해야지. So we have to do the makeup now. And I was like, I don't need makeup on my passport photo. Please, just leave it. Let it be. And he's like, no, we'll do it and I'll show you on and off, right? Because you can do, there are layers on Photoshop. So he did the makeup, a little blush here or something. I made my cheeks redder or something. And then he's like, okay, so I'm going to click it off and then click it back on. Tell me which one you like better. And I was like, I already know. I don't want the makeup. Okay. But okay, go ahead. And he was like, clicked it off and then clicked it. He's like, okay. And he clicked it back on with the makeup. And I was like sitting there. I was like, oh, okay. You can leave the makeup. That's how I know I'm Korean now. I'm totally Korean. I have a Korean resume photo out there. Maybe we'll post it on our Instagram or oh man.
I'm looking at this picture right now. So this is the makeup one.
Yeah, it's pretty airbrushed. Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I look even younger.
Yes. Than you already are.
And but the gray hair, you can kind of, I can't see it. This guy, man.
So the segue from passport photos is to Korean Air stopped serving peanuts after teen's flight disrupted by an allergy.
Yeah, Korean Air again is in the news.
Korean Air, man.
And it had to be because of a nut.
Yeah.
Because of peanuts. Like, Korean Air and
they just don't like, I don't know, what are they called? Legumes? Or what are they called? What are peanuts called? Right. That whole nuts. Cashews, pistachios.
They're just like, they're nuts, man. They're not... Yeah, they're having a bad rap with the nuts. Yeah. So this is an actual headline. Korean Air stopped serving peanuts. And it's a big deal, Yeah. So basically what happened was there was two underage minors traveling unaccompanied from the U.S.
Atlanta.
From Atlanta all the way to the Philippines.
The layover in Korea. Right?
The layover in Incheon. Yeah. And so apparently the parents had written in or called the airline ahead of time, told them about the allergy. Mm-hmm. But when they arrived in Korea, they freaked out. The kids freaked out because they were told that their peanuts were being served. Mm-hmm. And they made a scene, and then eventually they just got them off the plane. Right. And they were stranded in Incheon, apparently.
Oh, God.
And that's not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nuts again in the news. And so they're not going to serve peanuts, apparently.
Yeah.
But the question is now, what did they do with all those peanuts?
Right? Because they probably have like a warehouse filled with unopened peanut packets, right? So I'm thinking...
I mean, it's a lot of peanuts, too. They got they probably have peanuts for days.
Right. For days. For days. For a lot of days, Bobby. Yeah, right. But I'm assuming that Korean Air should probably immediately sell them to the nearest bars, in the Western-style bars in that location.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For, the bar peanuts.
Right.
But
do they sell them in the packets? Like, that say Korean Air?
I think that'll kind of be kind of cool. It's almost like getting like a like what do you call it? Like a limited edition. You know what I mean?
That's not actually a bad idea.
Yeah.
If you can get a hold of a bag of Korean Air packets,
peanuts,
just hold on to it for like 20 years and then like sell it in like a memorabilia shop.
Yeah.
You remember when Korean Air sold peanuts? It's like Back to the Future.
Yeah. Have you seen those collectors that have like old Coke bottles or old like, things like that? When we went to Konde at a drinking place, remember they had this like weird snack that was old school snack called 쫀득이. I've never had it, but I'm assuming my parents' generation had it.
What was the 쫀득이? I don't remember that.
It was the first place we went to at the 90s, whatever, Pucha, and then there was like a. Anyway, it's it almost is like a beef jerky. I don't know. It looked like a sour belt.
Oh,
sour,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It tasted like...
I didn't try it.
Yeah, I mean neither.
Yeah.
But, it's like a throwback.
Yeah, Korean Air peanuts will one day be a throwback item.
Yeah.
Get a hold of those while you can, people.
My question is, so what are they going to, like the pretzel companies are like, yes, this is our time.
Oh, yeah.
This is our time. We've been trying to break into the airplane market for a long time, and now it's pretzel time, baby. Right.
Well, they probably get rid of all the nuts, right?
Yeah.
Because last time they were in the news for nuts was the macadamia nuts, right?
Right. Ooh, baller
So
nuts.
do they not have those either? I guess probably all nuts, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely probably like other companies that are just jumping at the chance to be the next airline snack food.
Okay, what kind of snack? Okay, if you go on a lot of flights.
Yeah.
What would be a good peanut alternative for you?
Something that people don't typically have allergies to. It would have to be, right? So I don't know. Cheetos. I don't know. Oh, you know what would be great? Fritos.
Well,
Fritos are less dirty. Like Cheetos get your hands all orange, so Fritos might be a little bit better.
But the Fritos, like the original.
The original, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be loud though.
I would say like a Slim Jim.
Slim Jim, but you're alienating like vegetarians and people that don't eat beef.
Well, I'm sure then there might be like a vegetarian or vegan Slim Jim, right? There should be.
Yeah. I don't see it happening though. But if that's what you want, that's your fantasy. You know, I'm not going to stop you from.
I mean, I have other better fantasies, right, than Slim Jims on a plane, really. But yeah. Speaking of the Korean Air company, the CEO recently got ousted because of all the scandals of Korean Air. You know, dating back to the original nut rage story with his oldest daughter. Going crazy over the way they served macadamia nuts to her at business or first class.
I mean, the timing couldn't be more uncanny. So Korean Air CEO ousted from board after family scandals. That's the headline on Fortune.com. And I guess it's not just because of the nuts and stuff. Yeah. And the scandals involving both him and his family. I guess he's been part of he's been indicted on a number of charges ranging from embezzlement to tax evasion, apparently. So those are pretty serious charges.
Yeah, but for me, I didn't know about the embezzlement or the tax evasion stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff I knew about was back in a few years ago with his oldest daughter, right, and the macadamia nuts, right. Then his second daughter splashed water in the face of some ad exec at a board meeting. Because she was pissed, right? Yeah. And then, his wife, there was footage of her, assaulting some dude, not assaulting,
No, her housekeeper. Yeah. Right?
Or no. That's okay. That was the mom doing that on a rooftop. Okay. And then, recently, the oldest daughter, infamous for the nut rage, macadamia nuts woman. Nut rage. Her husband filmed footage of her, yelling and attacking him, their housekeeper.
Threw an iPad at him or something like that.
Yeah. You know, and so, Yeah, I mean, and obviously I didn't know about the embezzlement and tax evasion, but at first I was like, man, all the women in his life kind of screwed it up for him, but I guess not. I mean, he screwed up too, you know?
At least he could sell the movie rights. You know, they should make a movie. They could make a TV show, a Korean drama.
Yeah.
From all the episodes.
It should be called Fly Castle.
Fly.
Oh, man. Oh, dude.
Oh, man. Trademark that.
Yeah. But you know what? I will, you know, sucks for them.
Yeah, this guy will never eat nuts again in his life. It's like, he's going to be asking, are there any nuts in this? Just like, take it out.
Do you have an allergy, sir? No, it's not that. It's not that.
This will give me a heart attack. Kind of feel bad for him on some level, though, right?
Yeah, because we're both Asiana members.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm just hoping, you know, Asiana's in a lot of trouble these days, apparently, too. Yeah. So, hopefully this, like, makes it better for us in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe the Korean Air stock goes down. Asiana, people like jump ship to Asiana.
Oh, yeah, but if the stock goes down, then Korean Air flights might be cheaper.
I don't know anything about stocks.
Yeah.
So I just kind of threw it out there. But cheaper flights for everyone.
Yeah.
Let's hope that happens.
You know, like, remember Air Malaysia? I mean, this is a different story, but Air Malaysia, right? You know how their planes kept on going missing for a while or like crashing? So nobody wanted to fly Air Malaysia. So the prices of Air Malaysia tickets were pretty cheap for a while.
Yeah.
And I got on one Air Malaysia flight, and I don't think I'll ever get on another Air Malaysia flight ever. It was like a flight from Malaysia to Singapore. It's like a 45-minute to an hour flight, right? Not that long. And the turbulence on that flight was the worst it wasn't like a side-to-side turbulence. It was a roller coaster up and down turbulence.
I've been on one of those.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, I was with, he was a former guest of the Win and Soul podcast, Walter. It was me, Walter, and this old Malay halmoni, right, on the end. Walter had the middle aisle, or middle seat. And Walter's panicking.
It's like that free fall feeling when you,
I'm passed out, but he wakes me up because he grabs his seat, but in doing so, he grabs my pants and kind of pinches me, right? And so I wake up and I look at him and he's kind of freaking out. The Malaysian harmony was looking at us like,
ain't no thing.
Yeah. This is nothing, yo. And so
they're like, the pilots are looking for turbulence. It's like,
어디 보자, turbulence 어딨나. So well, good luck. Good luck to Korean Air and Asiana Air.
Well, good to know about Malaysian Airlines too, because once I'm ready to just like, when I'm sick and tired of life, I might be able to just say, hey, you know what? Let's throw the dice. Anyway,
okay.
So last week we ended the show, talking about an article, about Itaewon and the gentrification that's happening there.
Right.
The title of the article being "Itaewon's Identity Wanes in the Wake of Gentrification." Da da da.
I know it's a very headline. The headline was just very, very like gloomy.
Yeah, check it out on KoreanHerald.com. I'm sure you can find it. I saw a lot of like people on Facebook on the Korean expat groups pages. There was lots of discussions back and forth, people's ideas, and for the most part, everyone was saying, Itaewon is not what it used to be. It's turning into kind of a apgujeong situation. Apparently, apgujeong was all the rage at one point, and then everyone jumped ship to Itaewon after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like because Itaewon, it's, for me, it's known as the international area of Seoul, meaning like there's so many different like food food from other countries, and
you go there for Moroccan sandwiches, for kebab, right,
the Itaewon burrito, as I like to call it, right, and a handful of our friends have or had businesses in Itaewon.
American style barbecue, South African barbecue as well. Yeah. Like stuff that was specifically... Yeah, I mean, it's foreign neighborhood, right?
Yeah, so to me, it was like an umbrella of that, right? And so, and Bobby, when you first moved to Korea, that's where you lived, right?
Yeah.
And so, for me, like every time I visited Korea, in the past like 8 years, was to, and I would a lot of times stay with you. I would stay in Itaewon, and the thing I kind of I don't want to say I didn't like, but I felt sad about was that, and just all around Seoul, I've noticed is that there's so much turnover in businesses.
Yeah.
That that business that you kind of liked 1 year, and the next year I come to visit, that business ain't there no more for the most part, right? And so that was kind of a shock.
It's almost like a guessing game,
right?
And we amongst Kyopos, we would say, "Hey, what's going to be the next big thing?"
Right?
What's going to flounder, or what's going to even stay strong? So churros happened to keep going. The first time I had a churro, it was in Itaewon. They still seem to have street churros
But it's not as like, I mean, it's franchised now. But I remember when we first, there was a line like, there was a line down the block.
Yeah, there's no more lines and stuff.
And I'm from LA, where the best churros you could find are usually at the LA fairs or like Magic Mountain, like the theme parks. And those churros were amazing. And so when I stood in line for like an hour to eat these street churros for the first time, I said, y'all don't know what churros are. Yeah. I can't believe I waited in line for this, right? Like, it was not that it was bad.
I mean, it's fried dough. You can't go wrong with fried dough.
Yeah, and cinnamon and sugar, right? Like,
unless you like pack it and eat it the next day.
Right. But there's the Pomona Fair churro that is out of control good. You know what I mean? And so... Yeah, the wavering businesses, and like not even the food spots, but we're talking about like cafes. We're talking about like bars. Itaewon has been in a little bit of flux. And I have a friend who owns a Mexican restaurant there. Says that, due to the soldiers slowly moving out of the Yongsan base, his lunch business has actually taken a toll.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because usually those soldiers would come off base and eat.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
because typically when you think of Itaewon, you think of it as like a nightlife destination. Like the bars there, like they have Irish pubs where you can get. Like dollar shots.
Yeah,
and that's where you were introduced to so many different kinds of like Irish car bombs and agua bombs and stuff like that. So, apparently the Itaewon's going through a stage. I don't know if it's the owners are bringing the rents up because of the popularity. I mean, this happens everywhere. Gentrification kind of makes things... do well for a certain amount of time, and then it gets just too expensive for the cool people or the artists that made that scene happen.
Right.
They push them out.
I mean,
case in point, myself. I'm an artist that lived in Hongdae.
Yes, that's true.
In Hongdae, all the rents are rising. A lot of the live clubs are closing, have closed in my time there. And now I'm moving to where it's cheaper, the Kondae area, which is thriving apparently.
Yeah. It was a Monday and it was popping, right?
Right.
So I mean, absolutely, like the rent, I'm told that the rent is rising. And you see a lot of bigger chain companies like Under Armour and things like that are like popping up more in that area, right? As opposed to the mom and pop shops. And that's the thing about gentrification, right? Where so before I moved to Korea, I was living in Koreatown in LA, right? And it was slowly, like 8 years ago when we filmed K-Town Cowboys, the web series, till the day I left, there was so much change in the area. You know what I mean?
I heard about this.
The K-Town Cowboys, the web series, is almost like a homage to yesteryear. Like that K-Town does not exist anymore.
Yeah,
you know, and it's not. And I don't want to say gentrification is necessarily a full blown bad thing, but what it does is, in my opinion, it destroys what made an area cool. Right.
Yeah, I mean, in the States, you've seen this happen. Just LA alone has so many areas that are going through this, like
Silver Lake,
yeah. Then on to Eagle Rock,
right?
Off to even like on the west side,
yeah.
Places like
Culver City,
right?
Yeah, and then in New York, I mean the famous Williamsburg
Park Slope,
yeah.
Just the Brooklyn scene. You know, I remember when I was younger, I was afraid of Williamsburg. I was afraid of Brooklyn, certain areas. And now you go, it's like too expensive to buy brunch, as they call
brunch,
it. Yeah. Very expensive.
It's a $12 egg sandwich. You're like, what's going on here, right?
Yeah, I mean, Williamsburg, when it became cool, I remember that time too. And a lot of artists lived there. Yeah. A lot of musicians. So there were tons of live clubs in Williamsburg. The last time I went, I noticed a number of them were closed. They weren't there anymore. A couple of places that, like, Lower East Side used to be really sketchy in Manhattan, and I used to do shows there at multiple locations. And I mean, certain places are still, like Mercury Lounge is still there, but the living room closed down, where I got my start.
The living room, that was your joint, right? That was your venue.
Max Fish closed down, or they moved to another street. There's like a lot of places that I used to play out and hang out at were just gone, you know? But it makes sense. Why would those places be able to thrive when the rents are going up and they're putting in high-rise buildings and stuff like that? So if this is happening in Seoul, it's a sad reality. It's probably good in some sense, but I mean, I don't know enough about economics and that kind of growth, or that subject enough to really comment.
Well, you know what? Usually at night when I was in Itaewon, even like maybe a year ago, it doesn't matter what time of the day, what day it was. Even on a Monday, there'd be a lot of people walking around. On the weekends, obviously, it'd be like crazy packed, right? But every now and again, when I'm in Itaewon during the weekday at night, it's noticeably quieter, deader, you know.
And you went to Gyeongridan over the weekend too.
Yeah.
How was it?
There was not a soul on the street, you know.
Well, you remember when I lived there?
Yeah.
I lived there for a year, back in 2014 or so, and it was just starting to pop. It was like so much fun, a lot of new spots. There were plenty of places to hang out there. And it was very hipster. Right. I remember thinking that this was kind of very cool, but very also a little bit like I'm not crazy about hipsters, but anyway, I like living there. It still had like old school Shijang, old school places you could tell that were there for a long time, but next door would be like a cocktail lounge that made super great cocktails, and the guy behind the bar had a mustache.
Yeah.
You know, like
that was twirled up. You know what I mean? Like,
but then, I mean, I got out of there because it was just so crazy. You remember my place?
Oh, yeah.
It was right above Booth Pizza, right across from Booth Pizza.
Yeah.
It's not there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was so loud on the weekends. It was like, I had to put into my schedule that I'm not sleeping Saturday night. Like, I'd have to sleep during the day to get ready for, if I wanted like a good rest from the weekend. That kind of
it was dead, bro.
Came and went, you know.
Like because I walked up to Ongtari Tongdak, right, which is like known for like it's as a famous matchip fried chicken place there, right? Yeah. And I was the only one there with my ex and her friends.
Although you were, that place is famous, but in my opinion, and probably your opinion, the better place is Huran Chicken.
But that place was closed at one. I saw it and there's nobody there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's still there or not. But she also, I remember we talked to her about, I talked to her, when I used to live there. And she said it's tough because, again, with the army moving out, she goes, her tanggol customers during the the early evening would be these soldiers that would come in and order like 5 chickens to go. You know what I mean? And so like those people are not there anymore.
Oh,
so she could also see that business is not going well for her.
Well, given that we have a lot of friends that own businesses and that still live in Itaewon, and they have businesses in Gyeongnidan, Haebangchon, Itaewon, like we don't want to see it die. We think it's a great place. We think you should still go there.
Right.
What can we do? I mean, even our listeners, if you have any ideas how to kind of get through this time, what are some ideas to make Itaewon what it used to be? I mean, I know there are a lot of things that Itaewon used to have that they got rid of. Like, I remember it was a great place to get street food. Like, you remember Simon's Moroccan sandwiches straight out of the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Those days were actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Having that option to eat off of those food trucks, but they don't have them anymore. They kind of outlawed them. I think some of it had to do with some of the gangsters. I don't know.
I don't know.
We can't really speak to that. Yeah. But, I mean, what are some ideas? Do we bring it? Do Itaewon owners, business owners, do they, become more authentic to whatever they're offering from where they've come from? Like Linus Barbecue is still there.
Right.
How does he continue to make his place a hotspot? How does Vatos make it up? Do the same thing. Cali Kitchen.
Yeah, all those guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I think further the issue may be with the landowners or the owners of the buildings that are, raising the rent.
Raising rents.
Right. I
know that's a thing.
I think that happened in Karusugye too, where a friend of ours had a business there, and every year they were just like pumping up the rent.
Yeah, and
so they're like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, we have a friend that had an office on Karusugye. Karusugye got really popular. The rents went up, so he went a block in, so to the back Tikormok, right? The back, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And then rents went up again because that Kormok got popular, and then he went in even more, or to the other side.
Right.
And so, I mean, is that what's going to happen? Like, you have to just find cheaper and cheaper rents, and that's why areas like Seongsudong is like starting to pop because all these empty warehouses they're finding use for.
But then eventually, Seongsudong's going to pop, and then they're going to get expensive too. You know what I mean? Like, you were telling me that your former area, Mangwon, was known to be the area with poor plumbing, so that when it rains, it would flood. You know what I mean? And so like it was like a cheaper place to live.
It was known for as a trash place, and so a lot of musicians live there, a lot of artists. They still live there, but like myself, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been like a victim of gentrification, having lived behind Hamilton Hotel, having been almost having the rents go up every year. And then moving in Gyeongnidan, that place getting gentrified, and I got pushed out of there as well. I went to Hongdae, which was the hot place for the last however many years, and now things are not the same. So I'm just hoping that this doesn't happen to me in Kondae. Although I'm going to be out of there in 2 years. 2 years, so.
I like how you've emphasized it
twice
hardcore.
I know one thing. I don't know what Korea's stance is when it comes to rent control. Maybe that's an issue that can be brought up with business owners and renters and people that are leasing.
Yeah, I mean, I bet. I mean, for us back home, renters and rent control. It was. It was not mandated by law, but wasn't there some sort of government or law like thing? It wasn't just a all right. We can't just throw the term rent control and it's over. Like it's something that an outside body kind of had to enforce, right?
I mean, it's called something else. It's not called rent control, right? But it's, I mean, maybe that's something to be... And for those of you listening that live in Itaewon and know more about the situation than we do, Danny and I, we really don't know, like, how exactly what the situation is. I mean, we ourselves don't really hang out in Itaewon as much unless we're going to eat at Linus or Vatos or...
Grab a drink,
Cali Kitchen, Blacklist.
Blacklist,
we tend to go back to our friend spots.
Yeah.
So, let us know if you guys have any ideas on how to fix what you think might be the answer, to fix these problems. We want business owners to, be able to continue to do their music.
Yeah.
Continue to do... to live, have a livelihood, I
want you to continue your music.
I think that's where the slip up came because, I would like to continue to do my music as well. And if you keep pushing me out of these neighborhoods because of gentrification, I'm not gonna. Where else am I gonna be able to go? I mean, there's not. This is just like
wow. That was not a save. That was not a save. That was bad.
Things are not, ideal for me in my life. Although I'm having a child.
Yeah.
And oh man, I feel bad for them, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm looking for additional work if you have it. I'm willing to be a server. I make a great cup of coffee. If you want to offer me a job so I can put some extra food in my kid's mouth, please hit me up at Peninsulapod. Now it's become like a...
Now Peninsulapod's going to field your job offers.
Oh, man.
But thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, maybe even suggestions on what you want us to talk about, please email us at peninsulapod@gmail.com. And thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Today,